I'll start off by saying, number one, didn't get the W, came up short. Defensively, when you let, they go down the field and they score 2 touchdowns, it's 14-0. It was about execution. We had some misfits. Give them credit. They're a really good offense, but you can't give a good offense those opportunities. And they're really good up front. They're really strong running backs, but they went right through us. And next thing you know, we're 14-0. And we settled down defensively. Played pretty well after that. Special teams, you can't let a team have 4 big returns. And they did a great job of executing on their end. We did a poor job on our end. Offensively, still left a lot of plays out there. And so I can't do that against a good football team like Northwestern and expect to go up to Evanston and win.
You mentioned the defense. First 2 drives go by, kind of did big boy football. They hit it off, run it. You mentioned the misfits, but those things you believe are correctable for your defense?
I got a chance to watch the film. Obviously looked at it a few times. Met with our players. A lot of misfits, a lot of tackling high, slipping off, bouncing off plays. Give them credit. They're a good football team. But you can't tackle high, not gang tackle, and misfit and expect to stop them.
Special teams, as you mentioned, those returns were really big. Those were the majority of their yards offensively in the second half for them. Not necessarily calling anybody out, but when you went back and you watched the film, what, from your perspective, do you want to see cleaned up on those returns specifically, Coach?
Well, I'll call myself out. It starts with me and what we've got to do a better job of and put our players in better position to make plays. And so that'll fall on me. We'll do a better job. We've spent a lot of time looking at that. They had a great scheme, got a great returner, but we didn't tackle great. We didn't keep the ball inside, but we could have helped them out. And so we'll continue to look at that and do a better job this week.
I know the goal, you want both units not just to play well, but you want both units to complement each other. And I know that's a big point for you guys. It felt like in the half, every time where you get a good play, and then a holding penalty bring you back when you were just in midfield. We're starting to move the ball, I think, on the first drive, and just Anthony mishandles the football and has to fall on it. Did you think offensively that, give credit to Northwestern, I know they had a really good scheme, but it felt like maybe a couple times there you kind of stubbed your own toe? Yeah,
they're really good up front. We knew going into it that their defensive ends were probably the strength of their defense, and they created some pressure. They had a ball batted down. They had a ball get knocked out of Anthony, but they're constantly giving him pressure all day. But you're right. We do have to do a better job of complementing each other. And, offensively, if we get the ball back, we got to be able to keep moving it. Defensively, if we have them pinned down, we got to keep them down there. And we had those opportunities to do that, to help one another out, and we just didn't get it done.
I know their secondary was also a strength.
Yep.
How did you assess the receivers that you had? I know being without your main one, Dante, I know Dejan, a key piece too, but how did you assess the receivers? Did it an opportunity for them to showcase themselves, maybe some, a little bit more of a bigger role than they were used to?
The thing that we've got to do a better job of is we had too many drops. And, sometimes the ball's not always going to be perfect, but we got to come up with those catches. We made some really nice catches. We had a really nice catch with Zach Larkin coming across the middle, but it was taken back because of a holding penalty. And but there were some really nice plays being made out there. We have to be consistent to help each other out. There was some good, and there's not so good. So we got to shore those things up. We're much more capable at the wide receiver position than we were on Saturday, and we'll do a better job this week.
I felt like Anthony really kept you guys in the game. Didn't necessarily make the big mistake. How did you assess how Anthony did in terms of directing the offense and trying to make throws at key times? I know you guys took definitely more shots there in the second half.
Well, if you look at what we've done well, we haven't turned the ball over. We turned the ball over on a punt return, but you know what? I have full trust in Michael Hopper. I didn't say a word to him. I said, Michael, get back out there and catch the next one. And I would say that with any returner that we have. I got full trust in him. But we took care of the ball, and we're going to continue to take care of the ball. That's a big emphasis, and getting the ball back. Penalties, we've been good. We had 2 penalties for 15 yards. We got to continue to be like that and not hurt ourselves, although some came at critical times. But that's the main thing right now. I think Anthony's continuing to grow and get better week to week. But if you can take care of those things offensively and not have as many penalties and not turn the ball over, we're going to be fine.
Felt like Michael Hoppert, that is, really showed his improvement during his time here. He's shown it in multiple games in the past, but I felt him as a receiver, that was really his first opportunity at receiver multiple times against Northwestern. Felt like he was able to find a lot of soft zone spots in Northwestern's defense and get in there and make some good catches. How did you assess how Mike did really in, I don't want to say a new role, you guys have been practicing it, but kind of the extension of what he's done for you guys offensively?
We're using Mike in a lot of different ways, as a returner, as a running back, as a quarterback, as a wide receiver. We've been doing that all camp. We're increasing his package, I guess, as we're getting into the season. But how I assess him, it's what I've seen all camp. He makes a lot of plays, and we're trying to get the ball in his hands as much as we can.
Eastern Kentucky this week, it's a program that is very highly respected, been to 20-plus FCS playoff appearances. What do you make of the Colonels so far? I know they had a tough game over the weekend with Louisville, their Power 5 game, but beat Western Carolina, a solid opponent to start off the year.
I've had a chance to watch them, of course, last year throughout the summer, and spent a lot of time these last couple of days watching them. Knew the quarterback was really good. They're really playing at a high level offensively. Quarterback he can run it, he can throw it. They got really good skill. Running backs are good. They're physical up front. But we got our hands full offensively. Defensively, I really like them up front. They play fast. They're aggressive. They'll hit you. This is a really, really good football team. I'd say about their offense, it's probably going to be our biggest challenge offensively that we've seen all year.
When you look at Eastern Kentucky now compared to the last time we saw them here at Memorial Stadium in 2019, similar in terms of schematics, or is this a different Eastern Kentucky team in a lot of ways?
Much different. I feel that they're better offensively. The quarterback is really good, probably be an All-American. But this is a much more explosive offense than we faced 2 years ago. I thought defensively, when we played them 2 years ago, I thought they were really good. Really thought they had some really good defensive ends. I thought they were really good on defense. I think they're more balanced now. I thought when we played them 2 years ago, I thought their strength was their defense. I'm not sure where I think they're pretty balanced. They got a great quarterback, but they're really good on defense too.